What's up, Castlers? LNF07 here with more Let's Castle action. And today I'm going to highlight a game between Bustamove 82, who 2 weeks ago won Player of the Week honors for the second time this season. Not to mention, he did win a rapid over-the-board title 2 months ago. He's having a very good season this season. He'll have the white pieces in this game against the retired Bud Light 45 with the black pieces. And nice to see Bud Light back in action. This daily game began on August 6, 2024 and concluded September 10th of the same year. Let's get into it. Bustamove 82 started out with pawn to c4. Bud Light 45 responded with knight to f6. That is the Anglo-Indians defense. Bud Light 45 wants to control the e4 square. You then get pawn to g3, knight c6, bishop to g2, knight to e3. And that's actually a cardinal sin in chess, moving your knight twice in an opening, because you usually lose time in your development of your other minor pieces, thus allowing your opponent to develop his or her pieces faster. However, Bud Light 45 throws conventionality out of the window. And so we continue with pawn to d3, pawn to e6, knight f3. Buster wants that sitting knight out of there. Pawn to c6, knight takes e5, Buster takes the knight. Bishop to d6 is a mistake because Bud Light could have won the knight with simply playing queen to a5 with the check. And you see that knight on e5, it's hanging. You could take it for free. But let's move on. Buster quickly retreats his knight after the play of bishop to d6. So he retreats that knight to f3. And now Bud Light 45 plays that queen to a5 check, but it's a move too late because Bustamove is simply going to block the check with his knight. And after that, things really didn't get spicy until move 15. When Bustamove played the great move of knight to b5. And this is a great move, by the way, because it wins a knight, for instance, with the play of knight takes h2. You don't want to lose that knight for anything. Well, for nothing. So just grab a pawn. And you're going to take back. Buster would take back. And after that, you get pawn to f5, threatening the knight. You move that knight out of the way, knight to d2. And bishop to b7. Or let's say you want to try to save the knight. Put the pieces back. So you would move your knight to h6, trying to save it. Or then that leaves you susceptible to the knight fork here, where the knight is hitting the queen and the rook. So then you play queen to, let's say, queen b7. You're going to give up the rook rather than the queen. And you take back with your knight. Knight takes a8. And then you play queen to b8. Not get greedy and take the knight, because if you do, knight takes f6 check, loses your queen with that sniper on g2 bearing down on it. And you don't want that happening. So instead of taking on a8, you play queen to b8, you get knight to d2, then bishop to b7. And that's totally winning. So after Buster played the great move of knight to b5, Bud Light played bishop to d8. And Bustamove captured the hanging knight. You then get pawn to d5, Bud targeting the knight. Knight d6 moves it out of harm's way and deep into Bud's territory. Pawn to e5 reveals a discovered attack on the queen. Buster grabs the bishop with his knight. Bud takes back with his rook. Bustamove eases his other knight into enemy territory. Rook c7. Bustamove captures the pawn on d5 with check. So therefore you got king to h8, queen f5. Bustamove looking to suffocate Bud Light 45 as he has a terrific attack going. Pawn to b5 from Bud Light trying to create some counterplay. Bishop e4 from Bustamove threatens mate on that h7 square. So Bud plays the best move of pawn to g6. Queen e6 is played. Queen to a4 by Bud Light hangs the b5 pawn. Bustamove says thank you very much. And as you can see, Bustamove leads by a whopping 8 material points. Rook e7 hits the queen. So the queen makes a fast retreat to h3. Bustamove was playing superbly until he blundered he blundered that queen with the play of queen to g5. You see 2 question marks there. And why, do you ask? Is that a blunder? Well, because on the next move, Budlight 45 plays pawn to h6, which traps the queen. What a move by the Budman. The queen has no safe square to land on, and what looked like a sure loss for Budlight 45 has now turned into an interesting game. Bustamove looks to get counterplay with knight to e5, hitting Bud's queen, but Bud simply captures the queen, which is a miss. Because when Bustamove 82 plays knight takes c4, you're basically winning a knight and you're down 2 material points. However, there was a tactic that Budlight missed that would have pulled him back even in this game. Instead of taking the queen on g5 with his pawn, how about sacrificing the queen? Queen takes f1 check. You then get king takes f1. Now you take the queen on g5 with your pawn. And then knight d2. No, excuse me. Knight f3. G4, threatening the knight. Now you get knight d2, threatening that rook. And then just swing that rook back to e5. And look at that eval bar. Budlight's back in this game. It's even. Unfortunately, he missed that tactic. And I'd like to say, I'd love to tell you that Bustamove cruised to a victory. However, on move 39, he played king g2. Let's fast forward to king g2, move 39, right here. And yeah, you see it. This gives away a free pawn with check. And Budlight is back in this game, Castlers, with piggies on the second. So Bustamove hides his king on h3. Bud checks him on h2 with his rook. King g4 is forced. Bud captures the free pawn on a2. Bustamove checks the king on c7. Bud hides his king on h6. Rook to d1. Bud wants a trade of the rooks. No thank you, says Bustamove. Bud goes after the isolated pawns on e3 and b3. But unfortunately, look at that eval bar. That's a blunder. Because that's mating 2 moves. And the great white shark spotted it with rook h1 check. And it was after this Budlight waved the proverbial white flag and capitulated because, the next move is just a perfunctory, block with your rook on that second rank. And Bustamove would take that, and that's mate. So an exciting game between these two, and you can see that Budlight did not give in, even after giving up a piece in this game. That's a testament to his tenacious competitive spirit right there. Well done. Even though he took the loss, I credit his tenacity. YDTD actually caught up with Let's Castle reporters and was later quoted saying, quote, Budlight is my boy. YDTD told him to play first, then indulge in as many Bud Lights as he wants. But YDTD thinks he got confused and went in reverse order. End quote. I'll keep you posted if Budlight has a response to that YDTD quote. But in the meantime, be sure to keep it right here on Let's Castle channel for more Let's Castle action. And be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the Let's Castle channel so you can get more of this Let's Castle action. And that's going to do it for today's video. I'm Megadef07 saying stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.